a farm, okay, produces X amount of fruits or whatever, hasad, the harvest, and you tell someone, I want you to take care of it, make sure it's being taken care of, make sure people are working, make sure it's giving the fruit, make sure it's distributed right, this and that, and you get every year 15 or 20% of what it produces. Okay, so that will be incentive for this person to take care, and that's how you do it. And usually a lot of the awqaf is taken care by the government, okay, by the government, because once it's waqf, it becomes very much under the control of the government. All these ahkam we mentioned about selling it or moving it, or that's up to the administration, and that means to the group of people who are in charge by the hakim. And now in the Muslim countries you find Wizard al-Awqaf, you have that in Maghrib? Yeah, Wizard al-Awqaf al-Shu'un wal-Muqaddasan, Shu'un al-Islamiyya, the Ministry of al-Awqaf, Waqf, plural of Waqf. So this group, I say this house waqf, that's it, right away they become in charge of it. So they see, is this house beneficial in that area or not? So it's up to them to decide to sell it or to keep it, or to move it somewhere else. Alright? So very important to understand that. قال فلو وقف على ولد فلان ثم على المساكين كان الذكر والأنثى بالسوية إلا أن يفضل بعضهم. There's a waqf, farm, for example, business, and he said the income of this business waqf for 1, 2, 3 people, Ahmed, Muhammad and Ali and Fatima. Okay, if he leaves it like that, then Ahmed and Muhammad and Ali and Fatima get equal share. If he just say this is waqf and the income of this waqf for 1, 2, 3, 4 people, but he has the right to prefer some over others. Okay, so he can say Ahmed gets 50%, Muhammad gets 20%, Ali gets 20%, Fatima gets 10%, for example. He has the right to do that. But if he does not provide that, then it's automatic that everyone gets bisawiyah, everyone gets equal share. And some of the opinions that no, we divide it the way the mirath is divided, the earth. الذكر مثل حظ الأنثيين. Okay, in the mirath and in the inheritance, the male gets double of the female. So they said if there are males and females in waqf, then we're gonna, without him mentioning, we can divide it into that. Now here we're talking about these kids are not the same, they're his kids. Be careful, because if they are his kids, he got nothing but to be equal between them and just. Talking about poor people, poor people from his family, from his relative, whoever. But if it's his kids, he has to be equal. The Prophet ﷺ, when a man came and asked the Prophet ﷺ to be a witness, and the Prophet asked him for one, he said, I'm giving my son this and this. He said, you have other kids? He said, are you giving them the same? He said, no. So the Prophet ﷺ said, then I do not testify on zur. I do not testify on falsehood. And imagine the harm that this creates between the family members, the family that make the society. Imagine someone has 3 or 4 kids and he gives one kid what he doesn't give the rest. It's just naturally the hate and the grudge and the jealousy and the envy, and destroy the bonds of the family that Islam came to preserve. أما مصرف الوقف المنقطع، someone said this is waqf, this farm is waqf, this house is waqf, But he didn't mention anything else. He didn't say for who. He didn't say how to be divided. He didn't say who's going to benefit from it. That is called al-waqf al-munqati'. Okay? So, first and foremost, you look, the ulama said, you look at al-urf, the custom. What are the people in that area or in that culture when they put waqf? Who gets it? Who gets the benefit of it? So you look at that. If the benefit, usually when someone says something waqf and the benefit go to the poor, then automatically we're going to say this is to the poor. Okay? If they are relative poor, and some of his relatives are poor, then they are more worthy of it. Alright? More worthy of it. So usually you look at the customs and al-urf of the people. Someone might say, this is for the poor of my kids. Because someone might have a house, and if that's all he has, and if this house, or he has many other things, but after everything is sold, after his death, and the house is divided, he has little kids and he has a wife, whatever they're going to get as their inheritance is not enough to provide a place for them. He goes and he says, this house is a waqf. The small kids after me, for their mother, okay, for them to have a place to stay in. So very important. So someone said, this house is waqf for my kids. And it starts there. Like if his kids will die, his kids will grow up, and will leave. So he did not specify who benefit from it after his kids. Okay? So that is also called الوقف المنقطع. فقال بعض أهل العلم أنه يكون لورثة الواقف. After his kids use it and it's over, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna benefit from it? Some of the ulama said, if the kids the people he dictated to benefit from al-waqf do not need it anymore, do not use it anymore, then al-waqf is to be back distributed to the heirs, to the inheritors. And that's an opinion. Second opinion, أن يكون لبيت مال المسلم, goes into the treasuries of the government, بيت مال المسلمين, so they can use it for the whoever. والقول الثالث يكون للفقراء. The third opinion for the poor and the needy. And Allahu A'lam, this is the right opinion. The poor and the needy, and that is usually al-urf. So my kids, because they're poor, they're needy after my death, I'm going to make this waqf. So they use it, and now they're old, they're rich, they don't need it anymore. And because it's a waqf, they cannot live in it. They're not qualified anymore. So now who's qualified after them? The poor and the needy. ولا مانع أن يشترك أكثر من واحد في وقف. And someone might say, I really want to put a waqf, I want to pledge a waqf, but I can't afford it. Okay? I can't afford buy AC for a masjid. I can't afford building a masjid. So there is no problem for many people to come together, and everyone puts whatever he can, and they buy a waqf, or they pledge a waqf. Okay? There is no harm with that. قال المؤلف فإن لم يبق منهم أحد رجع إلى المساكين. This is he's talking about الوقف المنقطع, that when he specifies the people and then no one is left to use it, that he specified, then it goes to the poor and the needy. قال وإن كان الوقف على من يمكن حصرهم لزم استيعابهم به والتسوية بينهم إلا أن يفضل بعضهم. If al-waqf, he said, this waqf for the students to benefit from it, the students who come, someone makes waqf, let's say one of us lives here, then Allah blesses him and he decides to leave to go live in Medina Munawwar. He lives there, Allah blessed him with money, so he makes a waqf. Waqf